Lori. It's nice to see you today. How are you doing?
I'm doing all right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, what would you like to spend our time today talking about?
Well, I'm having a hard time deciding whether or not it makes sense financially and otherwise in our family for me to take this trip with my husband during the break. Yeah, there are reasons to do it and reasons not to do it, and I can't quite figure out the right answer. I'm stuck.
Okay. Why don't you tell me more about this trip?
Well, it's going to be amazing if I go. Basically, my husband has an opportunity to go to Vietnam, and he'll be working there, and he'll be there the entire time that I'm finishing up this semester. But then that last week or 10 days that he's there, whenever I'm done with this semester, I have the opportunity to fly over and meet him, and he and I would travel all around East Asia. Actually, we haven't even developed an itinerary yet because I'm so can't decide. But it could be our own little solo trip or trip together. And that means that my kids stay back with my mother, all three of them, right around the holiday season, which is part of what has me feeling guilty about it already. But it would be a 10-day trip, and I'd be back in time, of course, for the next semester and before that. And I don't know, I've never traveled really outside of Mexico and Canada, and we wanted to do it for a long time. So that's the trip. Yeah.
So what I'm hearing is that you sound like it sounds like a really great experience that you're looking that could possibly happen for you and your husband, but at the same time you're thinking about the impacts that it could have with your children.
Yes, exactly. And another thing is financially. We're all planning as a family after I graduate and my son graduates at the end of the year to go on this big trip, which I've already talked about in another session. It's funny, this never comes up in my life to have this many opportunities, so it's a positive thing, but I'm concerned that I'd be taking too much. It feels like we're taking too much money away from that fund. We're limited in funds, and so there's a part of me that just feels guilty that I'm somehow going to shortchange the big family trip by going on this one. It feels selfish.
Mm-hmm.
It would be totally fine for him to just go on this work trip. It's paid for. I stay back with the kids, finish up. Like that just seems like a very prudent thing to do.
Mm-hmm.
And we can all focus on the end of the year whammy trip.
Mm-hmm.
But having this opportunity kind of just right at the end, right there, he just told me about this a week ago, the opportunity to do this. I don't know. I can't decide.
So it sounds like I hear that, it sounds like it could be very exciting.
Mm-hmm.
I can hear the excitement. I can hear the ambivalence in your voice.
Yeah.
But maybe what we can do then is talk about some of the positive things about going, and then maybe we can talk about some of the cons about going. So
Okay.
have you thought about some of the positive things about going?
The positive thing would be it would be amazing for me as an individual, and I think it would be really bonding and fun as a couple. And we've never done that. We've never had that opportunity. So I think it might energize all of us for going on a trip in the future. And I guess those are the positives. Yeah.
So the positives
Yeah.
are that you get new experiences, you get to do something that may never, an opportunity that may never happen again.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Which I can imagine would feel really cool awesome to an experience to have an opportunity like that. I can imagine how that feels.
Yes, when you just said an opportunity I may not ever have again, that's true. Because, yeah, of course, we would never have this opportunity again. It's so random that he's going there. So, yeah, I like that.
So what may be some of the negatives?
Money, taking away money. There's a part of me that thinks that my kids actually, I feel like I'm shortchanging them somehow that they wouldn't get to go on this trip with us.
Mm-hmm.
But I also know that that's ridiculous. But money is real. The money part is real.
Mm-hmm.
It's going to be real no matter what, though. Whether we have, no matter how much money we have, we're going to have to budget it. So, yeah, the cons. Me feeling guilty is probably the biggest one. Probably even more than the money now that I think about it. Yeah, just feeling like somehow I'm getting to do something the kids don't get to do, and that just feels feel guilty.
Mm-hmm. But why is that wrong? What makes it wrong to do something that the kids don't get to do?
That's an excellent question. Even as I say it, I hear that, right? It isn't wrong. It isn't wrong. And the fact that we have another trip coming up planned, that makes it even less wrong if it was ever wrong to begin with.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So maybe right here now today you don't come to a conclusion about what you decide to do, because it sounds like it's a pretty big decision to be making. But maybe you can take some of the thoughts that you had today and think about it and talk over with your husband, and then next week when we meet again, we can check back in and see where things are.
That's a great idea. Thank you. Thank you very much. I'll do that.
Okay.